Hey songwriters, it's Lisa Konicki, your editor-in-chief here at American Songwriter. Today we went off the record with country music singer Walker Hayes about his personal new album, 17 Problems. During our conversation, we go deep as he opens up about grief and the loss of his father, his evolving relationship with faith, and the everyday chaos of raising 6 kids. Enjoy! Welcome, Walker.
Hey.
Thank you for coming to American Songwriter.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. Is this headquarters?
This is headquarters. This is where it all
the
happens.
nucleus.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, right here.
Love it.
We're glad to have you. I want to
Yeah.
talk about your new album, 17
Yeah.
Problems. Really enjoyed listening to it. I've been sitting
Oh,
with it
thanks.
for a few days. I do want to get into that, but
Yeah.
first I want to get to know a little bit about you
Okay.
and find out who is Walker Hayes.
Ah.
So I've got some random questions for you. Are you up for these?
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Okay. They're off the wall.
Let's go.
Silly questions. So we'll start with, if a genie gave you 3 wishes, what would they be?
More wishes. Shoot, that's 3 wishes. That's a tough. Yeah.
You could go superficial or you could go really serious. Let's go superficial.
Just superficial?
Yeah.
Okay. I would ask probably for Taco Bell for life. And, I would probably ask, I would like another half. I have a half-court basketball court. I would get the other half. I would get so it could have a full court. But yes, but then deep, I don't know, which for my, kids and wife's safety, that's a deep one. But yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many things
That is,
that we
yeah.
all need, yes. What's a snack from your childhood that makes you nostalgic?
Probably like fruit roll-ups, rolling them around your finger and eating it like that,
Yep.
And I was just talking about like nerd clusters are a now thing, but nerds for sure. Yeah, things like that. Hossie, Kool-Aid, Sunny D,
Brings your old
that
back.
kind of stuff. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Are you for or against Irish goodbyes at a party?
Like just bolting?
Yep.
Oh, I'm a bolt. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
you're a
a
bolter.
Houdini. Yeah, I love to disappear. Goodbyes are they just take so long,
Keep you
Yeah.
there another hour
Yeah.
or so. Yeah. What's an irrational fear of yours?
Irrational fear, odd numbers.
Really?
Yeah, don't like odd number. I'm a counter.
So if you do, if you go out to
Anything.
dinner, you round up or
2
gas
always.
station?
Yeah,
Round up. Okay.
and anything I eat, 2 bites at a time.
Really?
2 M&Ms at a time. That thing. Steps. I don't like steps that end on an odd number.
That's so
Cracks in the
interesting.
sidewalk. I like to take 2 steps per box. Yeah, I'm
Same.
an unreason. I count everything. That's probably like the OCD thing. I don't know.
Yeah, that's amazing.
You have any of those? Like OCD, turn the light switch on things?
I always have to, yes, if I turn the lights off, I always have to go back and make sure the lights, I do a double check,
You
lock
don't-
the doors.
Yeah.
I have to go back
Really?
and make sure I lock the doors.
Every
yes.
one of them?
Yeah. Well, the front door and the garage door.
That's crazy.
Yes, all the time.
You just don't try. You're like,
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know
Wow.
if it's a
You
safety
always
thing
been like
or
that?
if it's, yes, even as a kid.
Did you ever get broken in like a burglar?
Yeah, when I was
Well,
young.
that-
At my, but I did it before then.
I should be a therapist. Let's
You
go
should.
back
No,
to that.
You're going to ask me the questions.
Yeah, I'm fascinated with OCDs.
Yeah.
Everybody, because everybody's got
Everybody has.
one. Yeah.
Yeah. Guilty pleasure song or movie?
I don't believe in that.
No.
I think if you like it, yeah. But I would say pretty much everything I like is like like I'm a huge Mariah fan. I love Hanson. We were just talking about that, how big of a banger Mbop was. But yeah, I don't feel guilty though.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
that's great. What's a nickname you were called growing up?
Just Walk. Hey, Walk. That's it. I didn't have any like funny nicknames. Yeah.
So sleeping, socks on or off?
I'm not a socker. Yeah. No, but my wife is.
Really?
She is a socks on. Yeah.
Is it just because she's cold and then they come off, or is she just socks on?
I don't know. To me, it's a lot of stress. It's like the blanket's already pushing down on your toes. That's enough. If you
Right.
also have that, I get like restless foot syndrome. But my wife is funny, man. She can be like naked, but she still wants socks. And I'm like, doesn't that feels funny, right? Just to walk around butt naked, but with socks. But she is so funny about her socks, man. She has to have her socks on. But I am definitely, socks are off in bed. I'm just underwear, just boxers or boxer briefs.
Yep.
I can't do a shirt. Shirt will get all twisted up. It's too much stuff.
I hear you.
Are you a sock owner?
I'm a sock offer. No.
Oh,
I can't do
let's
socks.
go.
Yeah.
Sock off
I can't do
nation.
socks.
What's everybody else? Can we
we
just take a poll right
Should
now?
we start a club?
Socks off?
I'm socks on.
On.
Ooh.
On?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How cold do you keep your house?
Richard?
On.
Oh.
On.
Way too cold.
Tyler?
Off?
Off. I didn't know
Okay,
there were
it's
that.
kind of split down the middle.
Yeah, I didn't know there were that many.
Yeah, I don't know.
socks on.
You should do a poll on your Instagram.
Well, the only time, I will say as a sock offer,
Yeah.
if my foot slips out of the covers and it's off the bed, no. I feel like something's going to, which I wish I had a sock on. But yeah,
Same.
That's the only time.
I don't let it go off the bed
No,
because something's going to come up.
Something's gonna come up and touch it.
Yes.
And but yeah, the sock thing is weird. Lainey and I talk about this a lot. She's a sock owner, and then before she goes to bed, she does this cricket thing, and I'm like, you got sock, your socks are attached to the you're not knocking it off, But yeah, we have these conversations too often. We should
bet.
start a podcast about that. Just
There should be a club too, some
There
kind of
should,
sock
yeah.
off club. We can start it.
start T-shirts,
Yeah,
sock on
yeah.
club
Hats.
or sock off club.
I think we have something here.
I love it.
Well, I feel like we know you a little better now.
Yeah,
But what everyone does know about you, obviously, is your viral hit "Fancy Like,"
they know that one.
better known as the
That's some
Applebee's
people's
song.
guilty pleasure.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
The Applebee's song. Do you still eat at Applebee's?
I got tired of it. Anything good.
Yep.
If you eat it too much, you
Yeah.
get sick of it. And Lainey and I, we live in a small town,
Mm-hmm.
and so we fatigue of all the restaurants very quickly. There's not a lot of options. But yeah, we ate. I mean, for that first year, man. I mean, we had Applebee's at least once a week for 2 years, and so we're taking a break. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite on the menu that you
Oh,
always
it's
go
the
to?
steak. Yeah, I mean, we did the Bourbon Street steak, and then we got the Oreo shake back on the menu. I haven't been there in a while. I don't know if it's still on the menu, but Applebee's is solid.
Yeah.
It's good. Honestly, the problem was, and this is a great problem, is if we get recognized in an Applebee's, it's over. I mean, people are like, it's the guy,
You're not left alone.
and so.
Yeah,
It's different. We can go anywhere else, and it's not like that.
Yeah.
So
got it.
yeah,
Well, I love that, and I love that we got to know that side about you.
Yeah.
But listening to your album,
Yeah.
very personal, very
Yeah.
deep. You talk about a lot of topics.
yeah,
I kind of learned about you. You have a big faith in Jesus.
Yeah.
You love your wife still madly.
yeah,
You're scared to death to screw up your kids.
yeah. I'm glad you got that.
You're
yeah.
mourning the loss of your dad.
Yeah,
Several things that we learn about you in
Yeah.
in this. While writing this album, did you learn anything about yourself that you didn't know before putting this out?
that's a great question.
Thank you.
And you do, yeah. I think for me, writing is a way to organize, my thoughts, and I think at this phase of my life, I've probably grown out of I think there's a lot of, in retrospect, talk about my mother or father, and I can feel my blame kind of shifting from pointing at my childhood and saying, you're why I'm this, and more of a shift to we're kind of all like that, you know what I mean? And I'm noticed, what you're kind of brilliant what you just said. I'm kind of looking at my kids going, wait, I'm doing my best, but they're messed up, and they're all messed up because of me. Their childhood was not perfect. My kids are 10 to 19, and so I'm looking at it now going, dang man, I could have done better in this area and that area, and there's going to be a lot of things that there's a line not in one of my songs, but a song I wrote with a group called Unspoken that says, I know one day you'll probably be on a therapist's couch talking about me. And I see that, and then it kind of makes me look back and forgive or have mercy or more understanding to the authority figures of my childhood. So I definitely learned that, like, maybe I'm growing up, which is cool, you know. But as far as honest, I mean, I've always been blessed to have a team that's really all they want from me. That they do not. My team never calls up and says, "Hey, could you just write a real easygoing radio hit?" You know, they appreciate little nuggets from my life. You know,
Yeah,
so that's healthy for me to write
And I
about.
think also just you admitting that and saying
Yeah.
that is going to be so helpful to your. Do you
Oh.
talk about that to your
Yeah.
with your
Oh,
kids?
always. Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
that alone, you
Yeah.
admitting that's something. I'm sure they're fine,
Yeah.
but you admitting that I think is going to be a big part
Yeah.
of their process.
I appreciate. I mean,
think so.
we're an over communicative
That's
family, and I didn't. You know, I think there's a line in a song called "100 Pencils" that says, "I didn't come from a family that showed how we felt." You know, and I think that's a generational thing.
That's a lot. Yes.
You know, I think we're probably you and I were probably overcorrection of like the quiet, stoic generation.
yes.
We're a little bit like, you want to talk about our feelings, you know, and maybe we do it too much.
Too much, I
you know,
think,
where you're
yes,
like, hey,
yes,
shut up
yes.
about the feelings, okay? Because
Enough with your feelings.
I'm learning too that my feelings are not the most trustable compass. You know, they're not always like right. You know, at night, I don't know about you, but when I go to bed at night, it's doomsday. Like every night is
That's what's going
the
through
world's
your head.
ending. It's like, how are we gonna? And then I wake up and I'm like, let's go, let's create. You know, and I'm like, well, it's a good thing I didn't jump off that bridge last night because everything's actually okay. You know what I mean?
Yes. Unfortunately, I do know exactly what
so
you mean.
I talked to my son Baylor. He and I were talking about it. We were like, I don't know what it is, but nights, everything just feels exponentially heavier at night. And but yeah, my kids, they're so forgiving and they're such fun, just companions in life. They have a lot of mercy on me. They've seen alcoholic dad. They've seen atheist dad. They've seen workaholic dad. You know, they've had a front row seat to some real life stuff. You know, they watched their parents lose a kid essentially. They've watched me chase this elusive whatever it is, you know, that I do, and they're interesting for it. What they have seen.
Don't you think that builds a little character in them?
I hope so. Yeah, I hope that, because hey, look, I mean, I have 6 of them. Statistically, one of them's gonna go through some really deep stuff.
You
know what I
can't
mean?
think like that. You have to just.
Well, I mean, hey, it's just reality. And look, I mean, I think I was talking to Rob, my manager, about this the other day. I look at my life and I'm like, do I have another 40 in me? Like, I mean, I've been through a lot. I'm like, if the next half has this much stuff, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I can, because it's just been up, down, emotionally, every which way, you know, you could ever imagine. And that's the beauty of this business. But it's also why sometimes I go, hey, Mr. 9-to-5er out there, don't take it for granted. Like, don't take the structure, the mundane for granted, because the crazy's not always so much fun, you know? It is. It has its moments.
Sometimes.
Yeah. But sometimes I'm like, Lord, couldn't you just make me like a khaki wearing, you know, nice haircut guy at a desk, like that was just so with my coffee cup?
Yeah.
You're like why couldn't I just be fine with that, you know?
Well, the grass is always greener, number one.
Always.
On the other side.
Yeah.
But it's so funny you brought that up, because recently I was going over my finances with somebody.
Oh gosh.
And he's like, you could plan, you know, we want to calculate till you're 90. I'm like, I'm not living to 90 years old, okay?
I want to get out of here.
I'm like, I don't think I've got 40, like you just
Yeah.
said, I don't think I've got another 40 years in me.
Yeah.
And it's just so weird to think of it that way.
Yeah.
Because as you age, obviously we thought when we were younger, 30 was old.
Yeah.
And then as you get older, you still feel young. So
Yeah.
at this point, I don't think I would feel young at 80,
Yeah.
but maybe you do. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows where that leads?
Are
But
you? Do you feel like? And this isn't. I don't mean this to be sad, but this also pertains to my album. I guess if
Yeah.
I were to listen to it, I probably hear me letting go of the world. You know, I think when you're younger, life is the end all be all. It's just everything. You know, everything tastes, everything seems like it will satisfy, dream, you know, chasing them, obtaining them, influence, power, success, showing everybody. But as I get older, my grip just to life in general lets go, and it's very freeing.
It is.
And I feel like I can hear that in my writing, which is, again, why it's such a blessing, why no one comes to me and says, hey, can you write an up-tempo? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And honestly, I'm just not, I'm very content. I'm peaceful, but I like to think about things, and I like to talk to people and get past, you know, the surface and find out, hey, what are you really, well, why was it hard to wake up today? Like, why? What's on your mind? Oh, me too.
Yep.
You know, and so that interests me now, and I think you can tell that because me and my writers,
From the album.
we spend a lot of time thinking about those things.
Yeah.
You know.
And you're that comes with age, obviously.
Yeah.
And you're very nostalgic on this album
Yeah.
as well. But the title track is 17 Problems.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that. That's actually my favorite on the album.
Oh,
That
good.
One, I know
You're
it's a title
so
track,
kind.
but
Yeah.
it popped up to me just because of the nostalgia
Yeah.
and going back to the 90s, such a great period. Do you have a favorite on the album?
Honestly, it changes every day, but you know, one song that's very near and dear to my heart is Adderall. I don't know if you heard that one, but yeah, it's a Colby Calais duet,
Yep.
and I just freaking love that song.
So that's one actually I didn't hear. Adderall, can you talk about that and
Yeah,
give a little story behind the song?
I mean, Lainey and I have a family member who's struggled with Adderall. Out of those conversations, it's eerie how like you experience something and then you meet people everywhere who are like, oh, me too. You know, that was hard for me to get off. I've struggled with Adderall in the past, and kind of the overuse or misprescribed Adderall problem. But yeah, it's a clever. I wrote it with Elvie Shane, and the song is just about how our culture praises like paying attention and keeping up and hustling and producing. And it's like the chorus says, yeah, we work Adderall day and Adderall night. Add a little American to that dream, like everything's Adderall right. But we're just sadder inside. I think the doctors lied. Life's a girl we're supposed to love until she's gone. I think we might be looking Adderall wrong. And just clever, you know, good spin on the word.
Yep.
It's light, kind of reminds me of Margaritaville, but it's heavy. You know, when you listen to it, you're like, oh, I can relate. Like I feel this pressure to just do, and always be busy and perform. And, you know, maybe that's not the key. You know, maybe like just doing something really good and letting everything else go. Maybe that's good, you know.
I feel like that's the state of the world, though. Everything's go, go,
Oh
go.
my gosh, yeah.
Do more.
Yeah, no one gets on socials and go, oh, I need to rest, you know, which is,
True.
I feel like God gave us that, you know, rest is a blessing. And so, yeah, I definitely feel like if you don't purposely, you know, manage time to have rest and stuff, you definitely get caught up and then you sabotage things that really mean things to you, like your relationships with your spouse or your kids, because you're so busy just trying to keep up, you know, out there. And you'll even take a pill called Adderall to be more, you know,
To be more involved.
busy
to
or
be more-
functioning. Yeah, you know.
To be more present, I
Yeah.
guess, is the ironic thing about it.
Yeah.
But so you titled the album 17 Problems
Yeah.
after the song. Talk about that song a little. It's very nostalgic.
Yeah.
It goes back to you wanting to go, all the problems you have now, you wanting to go back to
Yeah.
the problems you had as a 17-year-old.
Yeah, you know, and I appreciate you asking about that song. The insecure Walker in me wants to let you know that I wrote that alone, so you could be like, way to go, Walker. But that's just because I love songwriters, and I've always admired the ones that can do it by themselves, you know? And so, but I'm super proud of that song, but it just was kind of a gift, you know, it just, I don't really know where we were album-wise, how many I had finished or anything, but I wrote that song on a Friday afternoon and was thinking about everything that you and I are talking about. I just was thinking about my mom's, you know, by herself. My sister is masterful at caretaking. My sister carries that burden, and my mom's not a burden. I'm just saying my sister is her go-to, you know, and she's near my mom, and I'm far away, and I feel, I don't just feel, I'm not as good at it as my sister is. My mom's really, really blessed that Wayla lives down the street and not me, because Wayla is wonderful at taking care of my mom. And so, you know, every line in that song, like, I'm supposed to know how to take care of my brother. It's been 10 years since I've talked to my big brother. I'm ashamed to say I'm the last of 9 kids, and there is a brother. His name is Brian, and I don't even know where he lives now. We don't talk, you know,
don't keep in touch, nothing.
Yeah. And so I just, honestly, I probably wrote this song thinking no one's ever going to hear it, so I can disclose the truth.
Yep.
You know, I can really be honest here, and wouldn't you know it, you know, now everybody's going to hear it. And I'm sure mom's going to call me and go, why don't you take care of me, you know, whatever. But it's the truth. I mean, that's just where I am in life. That's where I was that Friday afternoon. I just really, oddly enough, most of my songs, they start with a hook or a chorus, whereas this one just started with, how in the world were we going to memorize our fake IDs? And I laughed thinking, I remember being scared, sitting outside the Floribama, studying on the beach, you know. I was like, what's my name? And, you know, what's my weight?
What year was I born?
Like the bartender was going to go, how much do you weigh? But you knew. You just were like, well, what if he does?
You'd
you
be
know,
the one.
How tall you were, what's your address?
Yep.
And, I just remember being like, oh, it's so much. Like, I'm gonna get it wrong and get kicked out of this bar, you know. And I was like, dude, what a great problem that was to have. And I don't want to go back. I don't want anybody to hear that song and think that those are the greatest years of your life. There's a sweetness and a simplicity you'll never have again. Now, it gets more beautiful, but with that beauty, it comes complicated. You earn it, if that makes any sense.
It does. It absolutely does.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to imply that you wanted to go back. Because I didn't think that while listening to it. You just missed that.
You remember it.
The easier problems that you had when they were big life problems back then.
Well, and I have 17, you know, I have kids that age. And that was how old I was when I met Lainey. So that will always be, I know. I look at my kids and I'm like, you imagine? Yes. I could meet my son-in-law today. Yeah. No. I'm like, don't do it.
Not today. No.
Yeah, I just, you know, when you know how it is when you're that age and you're in love and you're listening to music. It's just, that's a special time.
Yeah. Do you see, when you wrote that by yourself, you said, but you had mentioned just as we were talking,
Thanks for bringing that up.
Absolutely, not a problem.
Solo!
You mentioned that you love songwriters and you love songwriters that write solo. Yeah. So do you prefer to write solo or do you prefer co-writing?
I mean, you know, I will say I'm not the easiest write for my co-writers. My co-writers are very, very, they're so kind and talented, and I'm not I was telling somebody the other day, I in an Uber, I'm sure the Uber driver's like, dude, will you shut up? Because I don't know, I just love meeting people. Yeah. I do. I'm the guy on the plane. I'm like, hey, do you want to chat? Because if you do, I want to know it all. Like what, you know. But when I co-write, I don't want to have fun. I just want to put that puzzle together. It is
interesting.
Oh yeah, I love it. I'm just like, no, quit talking about your dog and let's let's talk about this line. How can we make it better? So my co-writers are really patient, and I have a bunch that I trust. But I do love writing alone.
Yeah.
But I would say it's a tie. I don't have a favorite. I will say a lot of my stuff, this is probably mean of me to think and very arrogant of me to think, but my music is so personal sometimes, even when I do co-write, I have looked back and been like, I could have done this alone. Not because that writer's not good,
Because
or that
you're
they
not as
didn't add, but
forthcoming.
I'm just like, this was my story,
Yeah.
and that's all this song did,
Yeah.
was tell exactly what happened to me. But I also appreciate their guidance and their filter, saying, this isn't that important, this is.
Right.
But 17 Problems just fell out real easy, and I laid it down really quick. But yeah, I mean, it's just, again, back to I've never really been able to just go, hey, this is a cute hook, let's act.
Right.
Let's, all as you just, I think you probably had to notice on the album, they're just real life.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, hey, I feel this way today. Okay, I'm going to write a song about it.
Very
You know?
relatable. Yes.
Yeah.
And
That's
it's
good.
funny that you said you love to talk on an airplane. I'm the one that puts the headphones in.
Are you the guy?
Looks
Yeah.
down, reads a book, and
Yeah.
doesn't want to talk
That's
to
okay.
anybody. So
That's okay. I will bug the crap out of you.
okay,
But
well, let's go take a plane ride together.
Same thing at the gym. Is
Oh,
I'm the
Walker.
guy. I know you would hate me, but I'm like, hey, no, take your ear pod out. I
I'd
want
be
to.
like, I'm working out.
I know. But a lot of my best friends, I meet them at the gym. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like that's why we're here.
Yeah. I
yeah.
love it in this situation because you get to talk all about it and
Yeah.
go in depth in the story. So
Yeah.
this is perfect. So we're good here.
Yeah, let's go. You're not working out right now.
No, not yet. Not now. So is there a song, if you went back to 17, is there something you would change or do differently, do you think?
Yeah. I mean, I would probably. I mean, given what I know now, I mean, I really love. I mean, I don't want to change the destination. Like, I love where
you
I
are.
am. Yeah.
Yep.
With everything, even the worst stuff that's ever happened to me. But
And that's obvious on the album.
Yeah.
That you love where you
oh
are.
man, I love anything that's broken me or hurt me or wounded me or brought me to my knees. I'm really grateful for it.
Yeah.
Almost more than the good stuff, to tell you the truth, because it's probably molded me into a better human, just for those around me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I would probably marry Lainey sooner. I would meet her sooner. Probably just
Sooner
be a
than-
little bolder about, hey, you want to go on a date? It
Sooner
took me
than
forever.
17?
Well, I mean, we started dating when we were 17,
Okay.
but I waited till, after college to marry her.
Gotcha.
I probably would say, hey, Lane, we need to skip college and just go to Nashville, because I would have loved to fall in love with songwriting sooner. I didn't write a song till we were married,
Yeah.
So I was late with that.
Wow.
Yeah, as many kids as we had, I wish we had more. I mean, that's not in like a dang it. I don't spend my time being bitter and
Right.
dwelling on it, but I love kids.
You could have
And
handled some more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mourned not being able to have any more. That was a bummer, because
bet.
that phase.
Yep.
That's a good adrenaline rush,
Yeah.
when you're like, bam, kid on
Yeah.
the way, But yeah, that's about it. I think honestly, I think a lot of my regrets are probably on the album. I tell a lot of people my life is great. I love my occupation. I literally have the exact job I would ever want, but I missed working with my father. I sacrificed that for this, and honestly, I don't know which is better, because I didn't get to live that life, So I think it would have been good. I think I would have enjoyed spending that time with my dad, and maybe wringing that out. But yeah, so I mean, I've got regrets for days, but
Yeah,
can't
don't
go
we all?
back. Yeah. Yeah.
But that brings up, you do talk about mourning the loss of your father, who you lost
Yeah.
in 2021. I'm so sorry to hear
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
But a lot of the songs address that. and talk about that.
Right.
So can you talk a little bit about how that inspired your songwriting? Or
Yeah,
influenced it?
I mean, so I write a song a day, so
Yeah.
every day is different. There are days where I'm thankful for who my dad was. I'm proud to be like him. To sometimes remind people of him. I appreciate a lot of who he was. And then there's some days where I wake up and I go, man, when Dad did this, that hurt. And I never got to have that conversation with him, and so it's different, day to day. And so it's tricky. And then some days I'm grateful, like, oh, I had time with him. And sometimes I'm like, I didn't get enough, It's just, grief is it's like liquid, it doesn't be still. It changes shape and form, every day. And I think you can hear that, in the music, maybe even in a song. You're like, well, did he love his dad, or is he mad at his dad, or does he miss his dad, or, yeah.
Well, that's kind of what I found interesting, because I know you lost your dad, and obviously it's devastating. I lost my parents recently.
Like
but
real recently?
Yeah, 2024 was my
Dude.
mom, and 2022 was my dad.
Bam, bam. How?
Dad was cancer. Mom, who even knows at this point, really?
How old
She
were
just-
they?
80.
Okay.
Both were 80.
Man,
And just
I'm
happened.
sorry.
Yeah, thank you.
that's a lot.
It's so
Life's
rough.
weird.
And that kind of goes back to what we were talking about. You're like, as you get older, you have a freedom, you don't care. But after your parents die, obviously we're in the club of dead dads. But then
Dead dad club.
wait till you get to the dead parent. No, I don't. Oh my God, I
Ready,
can't believe I
break.
just said that.
Dead dad on 3.
But now I'm in the dead parents club.
I get it.
And it just seems like it's so much more, not freeing because you want them, but you just don't care
I know.
about a lot of things, because you realize and you think it just doesn't matter.
I know.
It's
I
just,
know.
everything we're doing right now
I
does
know.
not matter.
When you see, I'm grateful that I love, both of my parents, as dysfunctional as some
Yes,
stuff
absolutely.
was. But when when they turn off, it just changes. Being the brevity of life is never more in your face than when you're near death, and it kind of you're just like, well, that's what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
It's just-
After all this, and my daughter put it the other day. My best friend Craig, he lost his dad, not the other day, but like 2 months ago, pretty recent. And my daughter was like, man, I forget how she said it, but I think she said the word footprint, and she was like, Larry's footprint was so huge, like his spirit, his energy, just knowing he was here, and now it's just, and there's an urn with an American flag, and you're like, that's it?
Yes.
And it's weird.
Yes.
And then there's this loneliness. I try to prepare everybody I know who's losing a parent. It's the weirdest thing to drive down. It's like you're driving down the road on one day, and then when your parents are gone, that drive, it's just different. I don't know how to describe it. It's just lonelier, but it's okay. But it's just different when your parents aren't there.
Yes.
All of a sudden you realize you're like, they loved me. Like they would do anything.
They're the only ones.
Yeah. Even if they didn't do, like, even if
Yes.
their love wasn't like, didn't come with like some cactus pricklies,
Yeah.
they like woke up
They were
probably
there.
every day and were like, I wonder where Walker is today.
Yep.
Even if we didn't talk
Yes.
for a month. And so that's a weird feeling. But yeah, you can
is.
hear it. I drove a lot while making this album. And I think a lot of this album is, what did I think about in traffic, by myself?
Yep. It's tough what you think about when they are gone, because
Yeah.
as you're saying, they are the only ones that, you missed the text which got you frustrated, like, where are you?
Yeah.
What are you doing now? And you're like, oh
I
my
know.
God, stop.
I know.
And now it's like, I wish I could have
Exactly.
that kind of text back. from
Totally.
them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you talk about that throughout the album and stuff like that. But what do you do? And you kind of went into it a little when you drive, but how do you handle the grief? How do you deal with it? Especially with 6 kids.
I
Because
think
you have to be, you can't just break down.
Yeah, I mean, I can't. You know, my kids don't mind.
They
You
get
know,
it?
I think this is by God's grace. This isn't like, oh, I just decided to do this. But my grief, probably at a younger age, you know, like when we lost Oakley, we lost our 7th kid. My grief probably hurt some people. You know, my grief is selfish. It's angry. It's closed-minded. It's rude. It's just mad. You know, Lainey is a sad griever. She's quiet. She's isolated. Everybody grieves
Differently.
different. I have found that like it's all going to come out somehow, and so you know you can cry. You can cry. You know, you can do that.
Yeah.
You can say, "Hey kids, I'm gonna go outside with this baseball bat and just beat on this tree right now." You know, because that's kind of how it's what I need to do right now. You know, and I have a family that you know. I hope
that.
we try to just again we just try to communicate everything and we try to decide like, is this feeling true or is it false, you know, and we ask each other, you know. I ask Lainey, you know, I'll be like, can I confess to you a gross, you know, feeling right now that I'm having, and she'll be like, no, I feel that, you know, or yeah, it's pretty great. Okay. That's not you know, you don't need. So we try to help each other navigate our feelings, because feelings are strong.
Yes.
Like sometimes they feel so real, but yeah, I mean honestly, songwriting has been a gift. 100%.
Is it a form of therapy for you?
Yeah, that's all it is.
That's what
I mean,
is.
and I think that's why my career is just. I think that's. You just stumbled upon. It's why my career has ever rewarded me, like worldly material wise, but it's also been why my career hasn't been a walk in the park, is that it is 100% what I'm feeling. It's what I'm going through. I mean, it is, and then I have a really hard time tidying it up for any commercial. You know, a lot of, like, again, going back to fancy, like, a lot of people are like, oh, he wrote a Applebee's commercial. No. I mean, that's just my life.
That's your life.
You know, that's my wife literally is the lowest maintenance human I've ever known. She's never cared if we're rich or poor or whatever. She just wants to be together. When I say Applebee's, the car goes nuts. Here's what I order. That's how we do fancy, like, you know. And again, people that hate it are like, he just sat down and he probably AI'd an Applebee's commercial. And it's like, no, I didn't, but it sounds that good. Like it's on the nose, you know. But that's a lighthearted version of a day in the life of writing with me. And then there's 17 problems and, you know, briefcase or whatever.
Song for my sons.
Song for my son. Oh my goodness. Mm-hmm. That day I was out, and this is a struggle of mine at my age, is I'm coming to grips with what's the point of parenting, you know, and I'm learning through writing Song for My Son that I just want to teach them to look up and just be totally dependent on Christ. That's it. I care, like I want them to have fun and chase dreams and succeed, but I also know that when they succeed, the rewards will let them down. No fame will ever fill your cup. You know, you'll always wake up the next day and go, well, what do I do now with me? I want to matter more. And then I also want them to know that, like, failure's okay and poverty's okay. Like, you know what I mean? I think younger, when I had kids, you know, you can hear it in old songs like Chapel. I wanted them to go pro, and I wanted them to, and that was selfish. I wanted them to be little ornaments on my tree.
Of you, yes.
And then I was like, no, I want you to succeed and be strong, and And now I'm kind of like, I kind of hope they just see me being, I'm like, the Lord is strong in my weakness, and that's it. That's all there is to it. It's just every day wake up and go on, God, today is yours. I want to be yours. That's it. How do I do that? Where do I go?
Yeah.
And that's what I want. You can hear it in Song for My Son, me going, maybe that's the point. I'm struggling with this. Maybe the point is just to show my kids, what do you do with those struggles? Well, you just give them to the Lord.
Yeah. And your faith is strong, and it's evident on the album, but there was a line.
I know what you're about to say.
Which one?
You're going to say, I hate church.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which I found very interesting.
Yeah.
I hate church, but I love you, and I'm praying he does too. So when I heard that line,
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
Yeah. This is for me, what just happened is what I hope. This is what
People
you just
take
hope
from.
happens with a song.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought about that line, and I've prayed about that line, and there's kind of a guilt that comes in that line.
I didn't want to say it. Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm
There's definitely like a ooh.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing is, and I think anybody, regardless of how you feel about that line, I think I can say it to my Maker, my Creator. He knew it anyway.
Right.
Whether I said it out loud, it's a prayer.
Right.
The song is a prayer, and it's not a prayer like Jesus taught us to pray, but that's what the song is. That's a pleading
it's a
song.
confession too.
It is,
Yep.
and that is how I feel. And I'm not. Unfortunately, with that line, no one knows that I had a youth pastor who was a pedophile. No one knows.
Right.
No one knows that the first day I went back to church, after I lost Oakley, it was baby dedication day, and someone sat us on the second row of the church. Now listen, I'm sounding angry at those. I've forgiven all of that, but I still get this like, and I'm kind of with you.
Yeah.
I'm like, I walk into a church and I feel a business. I smell a bulletin. I see dudes with badges on. I see a coffee shop. I don't feel like this. It's this safety.
Right.
And there's things that I do hate about it, know. And I think that's okay for me to go, Lord, can you show me what your definition of church is? Because it sounds like I know you made that for men. You made it for us, and I want to experience that, But I do believe in that line. I mean, to me, that is one of my favorite lines. And I will say, as many people who I feel like are going to go, ooh, you can't say that. I think just as many will go, hey, I kind of feel exactly like he does. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be amazing.
That'll be a great conversation.
It will. It'll
Yeah.
be a church in itself.
Yeah.
It'll be people maybe not being divided over it, but be like, well, that's sad. I don't want you to not, because I know a pastor that I love very much who would probably go, I don't want you to feel that way in my church. Why? Instead of like, you need to,
Right. I think it depends on your experiences that you've had in the church. It's not the church per se. It's just the experience that you've had that can either turn you off or turn you away. And you feel like God and Jesus are everywhere. So why do you have to go to this building to believe and to pray and to have faith?
Yeah. And I mean, look, there's a lot of great advice in the Bible. And one is probably like, the church, the church is the bride of Christ. It's described. Church is that definition, the biblical definition of church is only there to, help us thrive. It should be awesome. But I definitely don't think anywhere in the Bible does it say Jesus plus church equals salvation.
Right.
I think there's a lot of people who will enter the gates of heaven that have never walked in a church. And that's a bummer they didn't get to experience a true church. But and honestly, I'm no theologian, which is funny. That's going to be the interesting thing too. Is I'm no preacher, but I'm ready to listen. I am super excited to hear any feedback on that line, because I do think there's a lot of people who sadly feel that way. And I want the Lord to hear us and respond.
I definitely think it's going to start conversations.
Heck yeah.
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 That's a great line. But on a lighter note, let's talk about something lighter than that.
Yeah.
Did I read it correctly that you wrote a song Wednesday with Hoda Kotb?
I did.
The Hoda
Yeah,
Kotb?
the Hoda.
From the Today Show?
Yeah, she started it. I mean, we were.
Is she a songwriter?
She should be.
Okay.
We were doing a podcast.
Okay.
Honestly, you're a lot like I should be taking notes because the next album just happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, I'm just talking to Hoda, and I was telling her a lot about my life, and honestly, talking about the dimming of just the world and the content and peace I find in the mundane as I get older.
Yes.
And she was saying, she literally out of her mouth, she said, so basically what you're saying is some days are the best days, and some days are, she said, yes days, and then she said, but most days are just Wednesdays. And she even
said that?
She said, some days are it's a girl days. And I was like, Hoda, hold up. You know, I was like, that is a universal concept that everyone needs to hear is, and that's another thing I'm trying to teach my kids. You know, I feel like our culture is taught to, you know, find the most comfortable life we can possible, and to try to make tomorrow just the big day, you know, the one, just looking for the big break.
Better, yes.
And I feel like, sadly, we're missing the miracles of, again, a relationship at the gym, a kiss goodbye from your wife, a note on the counter, just the mundane stuff, you know, a picture on the fridge, like that song says. The mundane is kind of miraculous, and we take it for granted by just hoping, you know, maybe tomorrow is the $1 million day, you know, and that's sad. And so, you know, I think it's a beautiful song, just saying to someone you love, like, dude, I'm good. Like, if I get another day with you, what else? You know, what's better than that?
Yeah.
You know?
What was she like in the writer's room?
She's amazing.
Yeah.
And she really contributed. We had that verse. We had the first half of the verse, and we had the chorus when we went in, and then Lori McKenna.
Oh God,
I mean,
she's
honestly,
fabulous.
Yeah. You know, I just remember there's a line in that, you know, where he says, feed the dogs and take out the trash. Nothing wrong with that, you know. And I just remember those lines between it just spilling out, and we were just, you know, Hoda has her beautiful children, and just reading a book to them, it's great, you know. The need to call mom back, you know, it's good to have that.
Yes.
You know. But yeah, Hoda was awesome, and there were tears. Like, we had, you know, it was one of those days where that idea, it was precious to all of us, because we're all busy people. You know, Lori and I are songwriters, so we're probably always fighting that, like, this is my next hit, you know, thing. And then Hoda, you know, she is such a speaker of joy and peace, but she's also very influential, you know. And so I'm sure she shares that like, hey, no, just chill with the kids, just walk the kids to school, you know, enjoy, chill out, Hoda, you know. And so there was a lot of rest in writing that message and just absorbing it together. Yeah. And so, yeah, Wednesday, special song.
That's a great song. And I feel like that's where she is in her life, obviously leaving the Today Show and doing that. She's there to just enjoy the Wednesdays.
Exactly.
Basically. So
yeah. I don't know about you, but I need people to remind me.
Make you stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My wife is magnificent at that. She's just great at that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
good to have.
Yeah, she's a preacher and a liver of that message.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there a lyric besides the I Hate Church one?
Yeah.
Was there a lyric, or because you get very personal on this, talk about your life, open up about a lot of things.
Yeah.
Anything you hesitated to put out there and were like, maybe I shouldn't talk about this?
Yeah. Let me see. Did you hear Bible sales are up?
I did not. No.
All right.
Can you talk about that
No,
one?
I mean there's that's not like one that one kind of snuck up. I think the one that you when you said that, the first thing I thought of was Pocket Knife.
Okay.
And I mean, my mom and we just been through I had a tough go with her growing up, and it just she's sensitive, and so am I, you know, and I would never want to say anything. I hope she hears that song and hears not just like, Mom, I forgive you, but I hope she hears, will you forgive me too? If that makes any sense.
It does.
And I don't know if I wrote it. I don't know if I wrote it on that downslope of like not blaming anymore, if that makes any sense. Like in the lyric, you know, it says, you know, Mama, I still keep my mobile life in my pocket like a pocket knife. Take it out every once in a smile. Whittle on a memory for a little while. Thank God the shit that went wrong taught me how to write a country song. Ain't it funny how childhood trauma cuts you deep and sharpens you, don't it, Mama? And you know, my mom had her own. You know, I'm again, part of growing up is looking at adults going, dang, dude, they had their own. They're just kids too, you know, the same thing. And so yeah, that was almost like one that I wrote. And when we left that day, I was kind of like, is this okay? Like, is it okay if Mom, you know, hears this song? Is this gonna make her be like, why'd you say that? But I think it'll help people, because I think that's kind of the reality of a lot of families.
Oh yeah,
you know?
It's very relatable.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's like, you know, to me, my favorite thing is to be known and loved, not just loved by people who don't know me.
Right.
It's to be known, and if there's one person on this world that on this earth that knows me through and through, it's my mom.
It's your mother.
I mean, she knows how vicious, you know, I can be with, and she's still there for me, you know, and vice versa. So.
And that's kind of how I took that song as a it's okay. Everything we went through, it's kind of a nostalgic song, but also everything we went through, it's okay.
Yeah.
It worked out. And
we're good.
Now I write country songs because of it.
yeah. But that's like really the only,
you
know,
about?
that's kind of the only one where I was like, I don't know, you know.
Has she heard it?
No.
No, not yet.
No, she hadn't heard it.
Are you going to let her hear it before it comes out, or you think you're going to wait till?
I think I might just put it out and see if
she even hears it.
Yeah, you know, I wrote a book with a friend of mine called Glad You're Here, and you know, I don't know. My mom can be an avoider. You know, I don't know if she read it or not. Like, I assume she has, but I would have imagined we would have talked about some stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I just want to honor, you know, her, but I also want to not, you know, hold things back, because I just don't think anything good comes from lying by omission, if that makes any sense.
Yes.
You know,
And I think that's our parents' generation. They just
Totally.
they didn't talk about anything.
Yeah.
It was, you hid everything away.
Right.
You didn't want other people to see the bad stuff.
There's another line that I can't wait to explore what happens. There's a line about my father-in-law in 17, you know, that says, I thought your dad was going to kick my ass when we missed your curfew by a song and a half. That was a G-rated version of how terrible I was as the boyfriend of his daughter. And so now our relationship has been completely redeemed. It has gone, you know, all over the map. So that's another one where I'm like, ooh, I wonder
You don't want to bring that up again.
I'm like, I wonder what he'll think of this.
Did they hate you? Did they not want you to marry their daughter?
You know, when people ask me about this, I wish they were here
to tell the story.
Not defend themselves, but I don't want to be one-sided. But I will say I was a not
nice
good
boyfriend.
option. Yeah, I mean, Lainey was just, I mean, she was, according to the world standard, I mean, she was SGA everything, gold chords, everything, just Miss St. Paul's, and then there was me, and
Trouble with a capital T?
Oh yeah, it was just like
Yeah.
younger. I was a year younger. I just was always partying. I was always getting in trouble.
Oh, wow.
I had no respect for authority. Her mom was very, she tried, she was so kind, but her dad had no reason to like me, and he didn't, and I didn't like him either, and then, I think they kind of tolerated me, through high school. And then I think by the end of college, I think they probably just surrendered to the fact that I was still around,
Yeah.
And then right when we got like engaged, it was at a happier place. But then I decided to move to Nashville.
So you took her away from them.
Honestly, that was tough for them. And looking back, every time I tell that story, I'm like, we were crazy. Like, I had no reason to think this was smart but again, the redemption on that side of things has been remarkable. I mean, we've gone to some low places with them. There was a phase where we did not spend time with them, and we were always getting pregnant, and I'm sure they were always wondering why. And
because you couldn't afford to have kids.
Yeah, it was like, why you keep having kids if you don't got no money or you don't have any job, except for writing songs and chasing this dream. And then we got famous, and they wanted to be around a little more, and that kind of stung. It kind of hurt. I wanted to be excited, and I wanted, it's you want them to love you.
Yeah.
But you don't want them to love you so much. That's kind of how I've felt about their parents a lot.
Yeah.
And but now we're just at a great place.
You got to a good spot.
And it's all because of the Lord. I mean, it's not because of me or Doug or Pam. We're just at we're in a really good place, and I really, really appreciate their patience, with me, and their great grandparents.
Yeah.
Well,
that's family, right?
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
what you do.
Yeah, that is
You
family.
go through it, yeah.
Exactly.
So
Family's not tidy.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
None of us. As much as everybody pretends that it is,
Yeah.
none of us have a tidy family. But with all that said, and talking about all that, if someone were to listen to the album without any background or anything, what do you want them to take away from it?
Oh, just a friend, or just maybe some of a feeling of like, hey, like, it's not all good, but it's all good because no one's all good kind of feeling, if that makes any sense.
It's okay not to be okay?
Yeah. I mean, I think the album is, I think if you were to listen to it, you'd probably go, well, what's the solution? And to me, the solution is to come just having a peace where there really isn't one, this side of heaven, that we have a Savior, and His name is Jesus. But life down here is gonna be unsatisfying to a point, and just like you and I just talked about my relationship with my mother and father-in-law, that's the same as my relationship with you. There's no magic place you and I are gonna get where it's just bliss. We're gonna have hiccups, and we're gonna have misunderstandings, and hopefully we'll get through it to a more beautiful place. Same with my marriage. I think you can hear that. I think you can hear 21 years of marriage going, man, this is hard, but I freaking love you. You're my best friend.
That's exactly what I heard.
Really?
Yes.
Good. Because that's how I
absolutely.
feel, about Lainey. And I feel the same way about my kids. It's just, I just want them to know that I know they're going to mess up, and I don't think they're perfect, and I freaking love them. And it's going to be okay,
That's all that matters. We'll leave it on that.
Let's go.
Thank you so much, Walker, for coming in. Appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for talking to me.
Absolutely. It was a great chat.
Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm Walker Hayes, and I'm here with American Songwriter. If you want to hear the stories behind my songs on my new album, 17 Problems, check out the November edition of American Songwriter.